right, to other top stories. And Africa risks harsher effects of climate change if the current hesitation in climate financing continues. Speaking during the Africa Climate Change Adaptation Summit in Rotterdam, former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called on the Western world to step up and double funds to support Africa in mitigating the effects of climate change, asserting that Africa did not create the problem yet suffers the most. And as Winnie Lubembe reports, a massive 41 billion shillings funding gap poses a huge threat to adaptation efforts on the continent.
At the Africa Climate Change Adaptation Summit in Rotterdam here in the Netherlands, it is a race against time as delegates seek answers in the face of the worsening crisis of climate change. The African continent is grappling with the worst impact of climate change, despite contributing a meager 3% of the greenhouse gases that cause global warming. Former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, who addressed the summit, is calling for urgent action to turn the tide.
Enough is enough. Africa and the international community need an opportunity to confront this crisis together.
Ban Ki-moon, who retired from the UN in 2016, says the climate challenge will not be met without strong political will.
We have a duty to meet Africa's expectations at the African COP. But fulfilling that duty is also a huge opportunity for us all.
On his part, Senegal President and Chairperson of the African Union, Macky Sall, called for more resources to tackle climate change.
We share the same planet, but now we are asked to adapt, not to industrialize. We are not begging, it's a necessity. We share the same place, the same habitat.
The meeting comes 2 months before the much-awaited COP27 conference in Egypt. The Global Center on Adaptation that is hosting the meeting says time is running out.
One way or the other, and it needs to be matched soon. Why is it important? Because several African nations, including Kenya, is also economically hindered, hampered because of the climate crisis.
The continent is currently pinning its hopes of initiatives such as the Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program, a joint initiative between the African Development Bank and the Global Center on Adaptation.
African leaders are coming in the face of Western leaders and say, well, we're not waiting for you, we're coming for you. And I think that's the sort of quite a bold approach that we see here.
The program seeks to raise at least $25 billion in the next 5 years to help the continent deal with the impacts of climate change. The high-level summit saw several countries announce a total of $55 million in new contributions towards the program, including the United Kingdom at $23 million, Norway $15 million, France $10 million, and Denmark $7 million, among other partners.
Well, as countries prepare for the COP27 meeting in Egypt later this year, the message is clearly on the wall that countries need to step up their efforts in climate mitigation, including adaptation, as Africa does not have time. Winnie Lubembe reporting for NTV from Rotterdam, the Netherlands.